gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now, it's time!
And welcome everyone to the Circle of the Main Championship on the line and EYR MMA podcast, the best MMA in Southern California, ladies and gentlemen. This is the host of the one I've seen, the moderator, as a matter of fact, because we have the host is back now. He's finally back, the director himself, because he is the one running the show. But he's out there touring for all of you guys, creating some music and rocking the world out there.
Rocking tour shows in Tallahassee.
That's right, because he rocks out with his cock. He does that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The director, Chris Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, I have the Madison Pain, the pain that brings to you not only just boxing, MMA, but also pro wrestling as well. Richard and Alex Mades from Championship on the Line podcast, and the one that brings that rage in that cage for you. The phenomenal coach himself, ladies and gentlemen, the founder, the CEO of EYR Division, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Rage. Hey, what is going on? So I'm going to let the coach take the floor, and as he's going to go ahead and open the show with an intriguing and an interesting story he has to tell. So take it away, Coach.
All right. So I hope everyone in the audience knows, I know the four of you know, MMA used to be illegal in most of the country, most of the United States. In the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, MMA was banned. It was illegal. MMA only became legal in California in 2006. It did not become legal in New York until 2016. Do you guys know why it was illegal for so long in New York?
We do, but we wanted to hear you tell the story.
Well, I want to know what do you think, Chris? Why was it illegal?
The food guild of chefs and cooks in New York are basically the mafia, and Dana White wouldn't succumb to having him hire the unions to work his casinos with the Fertitas, and they basically just unionized to kick all Fertitas out of they kicked them out of the Palms originally, but now also New York. So it wasn't until the guy in charge of that commission basically got fired for being corrupt and then replaced by somebody less corrupt that they were able to get it legalized.
Okay. So that's not the official story, right? The official story is kind of that.
I thought that was the unofficial story.
What's that?
I thought that was the unofficial story.
That is pretty close to the unofficial story, but
all right, I'll take it.
So, two things that I don't really like talking about is PEDs in MMA and LCN in MMA. But they are pervasive. LCN, La Cosa Nostra, this thing of ours, the mafia.
America,
So, you guys know what a dry county is?
Like prohibition, like it's no alcohol at all?
No alcohol.
Right? So there's dry counties throughout the south of the United States. Why are they dry? Why is alcohol illegal? Why can you not purchase alcohol? Why are there no bars? No.
Don't know.
I don't know why there's not. I don't know. Not since the 40s, so I have an answer to that.
Okay. So
it's a religion?
Still to this day. So there's the Baptists that for some counties, they are predominantly Baptist, and it's a religious thing, and that's what they choose. But for many, it's where the moonshine is made. So if you've got a strong black market that's been there for generations, you don't want corporate and legal competition. And if it's a local government, then you protect your constituents. And you're usually corrupt. You're usually doing the illegal black market stuff too. So part of the reason that New York was so late to become legal for MMA was because there was such a strong underground black market fight scene. And back in the day, from 1997 to 2001, I was one of the pioneers of that fight scene. I fought bare knuckle, no holds barred, mouthpiece cup, very limited rule set, all illegal, and all mostly set up or dominated by one of the major families of New York. So it was a very strong underground fight scene. And there's a docuseries on ESPN Plus, I think, and it's called Bad for the Sport. You guys familiar with this or no? Okay.
I watch ESPN Plus, and they're not advertising it to me yet.
Okay. I think it's on ESPN Plus. It could just be on. I don't know. So one of the episodes is about a hockey team.
I'm trying to find what it's on. Is it called Bad for the Sport or just Bad Sport?
I'm not sure.
Okay. There's something called Bad Sport on Netflix. I can find out what that is. That might be it, though.
Yeah. Oh, it could be Netflix.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, follows 6 stories of sports and crime told by athletes. Yeah, that looks.
Yeah. Okay. And one of them is about the hockey team called the Danbury Trashers, and the family that was connected to the Danbury Trashers was also running the underground fight scene. So there's a direct pipeline or direct connection between New York City and Danbury, Connecticut. So the underground fight scene that I was active in, Glover Teixeira also fought in Connecticut, and I fractured my eye socket and retired from fighting in 2001. And Glover Teixeira is 10 years younger than me, and he started fighting, I think, in 2002 or 2003. We just called it the Show, but there's other names for it, Ring of Fire. But yeah, the official underground fight scene. So that's my story.
All right. And we're going to thank everybody for that. Cage Minus Q, of course, our brother, Mouse Heath, and Society, Brendan Jones, for tuning on to the show. So I'm going to go ahead and the host, take it away.
What's going on? Missed you guys mostly. Good to be back. UFC 275, I think, is one of those sleeper pay-per-views where a lot of people are looking at the card and they're like, why would I spend $70 on a bunch of fights of people I've never heard of? Every fighter you've heard of has been a fighter you've never heard of. And I think this is going to be one of those cards that people are going to wish they bought or got a hold of somehow. I love when even as a hardcore fan, don't know everybody's name or am not familiar with everybody on the card. But by watching them and doing shows like this, that's how I get familiar. We have a 5-fight main card, 2 title fights. Super excited for almost every fight on the main card. Well, I'm excited for all fights until they're over with. Let's say that. I don't know what to be excited for on the undercard because the only name that I recognize off the top of my head is Jake Matthews, and he's a bit of a badass, so that's something I'm looking forward to. We are bringing back the clock because we got 5 fights and 5 people. That's 25 fights to talk about, and I think that's fair. Obviously, Coach is exempt from that because he knows Blake Troop and lives near me, and I here for my life. So. All of our picks will be made on Tapology. We are going to lock those in tonight, and then we are going to review them next week to see who is still or new Tapology picks champion. Probably Alex, but by Alex I mean Richard, and I'll be taking that title home regardless. So
cool. Who's currently?
Me. It's currently me. I'm the champ.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
the
you.
champ.
Cool. I have the card pulled up right now. First fight of the night is Jack de la Maddalena versus Ramazan Emiv. Let's have Alex go first. How's that feel, buddy?
Yeah.
All right.
Very excited. I'm very excited.
Wasn't prepared, but okay.
You're
yes,
prepared. You got your notes? All right, man. Well,
I
you
got notes.
I freestyled, man.
See, Richard got notes. Richard got notes. Oh, yeah.
I'm ready. I'm all ready.
Dude, my notes are 20 web pages pulled up all at the same time and just bang
Wow.
into it. All right.
You guys think you're all hot because you can read and shit.
CTE will never have an
I don't think Richard can win too low of a fight. Wow.
Oh, thank you. I don't think. Oh, that's great.
Hey, Bisping won the title at 40 in his fight IQ. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you have 1 minute with the Madalena and me fight starting now. Starting now.
Cool. Yeah, I don't really know too much about Jack. I just know he came from the Contender Series, and then he had 1 fight since then. So, don't know too much about him. I know he's 11-2 with a lot of finishes, and Ramazan is a veteran. I think people kind of sleep on him. He's had a lot of fights in the UFC and had some really good wins on some good opponents. Again, I'm just gonna go based on just experience. I'm gonna go Ramazan on this one. I think he gets it done. I think he gets it unanimous decision for Ramazan. I'm gonna go with him.
Cool. Beautiful. Second fight of the night is Rogeria Bontorian versus Mandela Cape. I believe that I spelled or pronounced those correctly. Take it away.
Honestly, I think this is the fight that could potentially be the fight of the night. You got 2 guys who are very explosive. They're very good strikers, have a lot of power. It's just, I like Cape too because I've been following Cape since he fought in Ryzen, which he did really well over there. And especially now he's having a winning streak, which he's looking pretty good. But very explosive, but so is Rodrigo too. It's a tough. It's like I think it's really even with this match, but I'm gonna go with Rodrigo on this one. I'm gonna go with second round knockout for Rodrigo.
I thought we were doing all around.
I messed up, man. I think does this work easier for you guys since it's one person?
I think the other format is better
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that too.
All
for
right.
the audience.
My bad. I'm used to the other format where it's like no worries. Right. Well,
Yeah.
we still got 2 of Alex's picks in, so we can just skip those when we come back around. So we can go with Richard on the first fight of the night then. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jack. Okay.
My bad.
No worries. With Jack, I mean, I know he's 11-2. I believe he's making his debut. The crazy thing about him, he has 9 KOs. And
No, it's the
he
second
started.
fight in the UFC.
Oh, we're starting a second fight?
No, it's the second fight in the UFC. It's not his debut. He's fought already in the UFC already.
Oh, my bad. You're right. I messed up. Anyways, I know as an amateur he was 2-0, and then he became a pro. He lost his first 2 fights, and after that he went on a hot streak of knocking out most of his opponents, 9 out of those by KO, 11 wins. He's gonna fight Ramazan, who's 20-5. He's a lot of experience. He's a former N1 global champion. I mean, he's been around, but I know he's coming off a loss. But I'm gonna give up to this guy. Everyone's saying he's like the future of the UFC right now that a lot of hype on him. So I'm gonna go with Jack by KO.
What round?
I know. I'll go second round.
Cool. All right. Ivan, Jack Della Mama versus. I can't say that name. It doesn't make any sense. Madalena.
If you only heard what you just said right now, that is so bad right now.
I have to be looking at his name.
I'm sorry, you cut me off guard because you said Jack Bella Mama. Like, what?
I'm full Brendan Schaub right now.
Oh, man, that was instant classic. I love it. See, you know your Spanish. You do know your Spanish. I knew it.
Madalena versus Ramazan. Go for it.
I'm not familiar with Jack. But I am familiar with Ramazan for sure. And he, like, you know, how Alex and, you know, Richard mentioned, you know, this guy is a freak. Stop that. You make me lose concentration. But yes, I'm going to go with Ramza. I feel this might go by decision. Because it seems like, you know, looking at the comments here as well, I mean, by seeing Cage, you know, Dan from Cage My HQ, Jack has his vicious jab, is going to get it done in the first. So, I mean, and then he knocked out Rodriguez in his debut. So, which I did not recall that. So I need to see that, go back and see that. I'm not familiar, like I said, I'm not familiar with Jack, but I will take Robinson for sure.
Gotcha. Cool. Mm-hmm. Now it is my turn. Coach, I need a cheat sheet from you for a second here. Can I ask you, you know a little bit about Jack, right? Like, is he someone you're familiar with?
I do, actually.
Okay. Is his pre-MMA background pure boxing?
That it looks that way. I don't know that much about him, like who he trains with or where he trains with. But I will say he's the best boxer that I've seen in MMA.
I was going to say something to the fact that if he was a pre-boxer before MMA, that he is probably the current one of the best. I mean, besides Calvin Kattar, like the best pure boxer that transitioned to MMA that I've seen recently.
I think he's better than Kattar.
I think a lot of people don't think Kattar is as good as he thinks he is. And I love Kattar, but like, yeah, I feel you on that. So starting my clock right now, Della Madalena coming off of that first round KO over Pete Rodriguez in only his second fight, and his third fight currently now being setting off the pay-per-view. He's going to be coming into this with a lot of just blistering confidence. His first two losses ever were finishes that were 6 years ago in his first two fights. And Ramazan's record is good, but it's not. His last four fights, he's 2-2. So for that reason, I have to pick Jack by KO round one. I think he's going to come in and bring it. I think he's clever and tactical and very patient with his hands. And that's the only way I see him winning this fight. I don't think he can get it to a decision if he goes past first round KO for Jack on that one.
Nice. Very, very nice.
And then we heard from Alex on the first and second, so you're out of this round, and that's my bad. I have to learn how to run my own show.
No, we have to hear the coach now on this one.
Yeah, and we definitely have to hear coach. And coach is exempt from the timer, so hit us. Please don't, for real though.
Cool. So as I've already said, Jack Della Madalena, phenomenal hands, great head movement, good footwork. The question is, can he sprawl? How good is his wrestling defense? Ramazan is
Russian.
He's a wrestler, right? Yeah, he's Russian. Do we need to say more? But his style is very lay and pray. He is right up there with Dominic Cruz as far as decisions.
Last 8 fights by decision.
Like, just wins by decision, lays on people.
Let's say, to be fair, his finishing rate is half and his decision rate is half. Of 20 wins, he's 10 finishes, 10 decisions. So
is that current?
That is as up to date as this fight is professional.
So what I mean is
all the UFC fights are by decision, I think.
And
that's true.
The second half. So when you're knocking out, when you're knocking out gimme cans.
Yeah,
and,
I know what you're saying.
How do you say? Does anyone know how to say can? Tomato can in Russian?
Oh yeah, Fedor. That was the right answer.
That was good. That was so good.
You pick on a bunch of small Japanese guys in the beginning of MMA. I guess.
That's where he's knocking out UC champion. So,
what this comes down to is can Jack defend the wrestling? I think Jack is probably going to lose the first round. I think he's going to get wrestle fucked, if you excuse my French.
That's a professional term, sir.
It is an industry term. But I do think that he is eventually going to land the shot. And is that going to happen in the second round or third round? I'm not sure. I'm going to say second round. So Jack KO round 2.
Round 2. Beautiful. Cool. So then we will go back to Richard, but we'll be starting on the women's strawweight title. No, wait, no.
No.
Oh, sorry, the Rogeria. Yeah, the next fight, the flyweight fight. Got it. The Rogeria Bontorian versus Manel Cape fight, and go for it.
For Rogerio, I mean, just to base some facts real quick, you know, he came in the UFC 2-0, and then his last 4 fights he's been struggling. I mean, out of those 4 fights, he has 3 losses, 1 by no contest, and the guys he's losing to isn't slouches. I mean, he lost to Kai France, who we know is in the rise.
Mm-hmm.
He lost to Ray Borg, who was a former title contender, title challenger. Brendan Royval is a tough guy also.
Who is like on the verge of a title shot, right? Like, isn't he like?
Right, yeah.
Isn't he for sure getting Figueiredo next? I think, or he's pretty close.
I think he is. I think France is right there.
Yeah, both of
so
them.
He's not losing to guys that aren't slouches. But then you come into one of those fights, he did win. He defeated Matt Schnell, and Schnell's another guy we talked about recently, but it was overturned. He tested positive for bad substance. So I don't know if that derails. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
In May 15th, yeah, he tested positive for I can't pronounce that one, but yeah, he tested positive for something.
Schnell tested positive, or
no? Rogerio.
Yeah,
he tested positive in one of his last fights, and I don't know if that's gonna.
PEDs.
Hydrochlorothiazide.
Yeah, hydro. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's chlorothiazide.
Oh, so it wasn't even a PED; it was a painkiller. All right.
Yeah. Even then, it says hydrochlor. I can't even say either.
Oh. I'm sure we didn't win any spelling bees.
Hey, I would totally fail the spelling bee contest right now. They asked me to spell this shit.
Lose right now.
Hydro what?
Somebody ask Alexa or Siri.
Can you use it in a sentence?
That is fun. Anyways, by saying that, maybe that was going to deter him, and maybe it's coming out. He has those 3 losses, so by saying that, I think Manel's coming up 2 wins, and by knockout, by flying KO, defeating I can't pronounce that guy's either name by Osborne, and last fight with KO. Pretty much, I'm going to give it to Manel. I'm going to give it to him by knockout. 17 wins, 11 by KO. So I'll make it easy. Manel by knockout.
Which round?
I'll say. I was looking. I'll probably say second round.
Cool.
I'll pick another second.
Awesome. Ivan, same fight.
Yes, sir. So, but there's an answer. The move down has affected. Okay, yes, I agreed. I agree with that. I'm gonna go with Cape. Richard didn't mention the last fight in December that he had. Yes, that match was fantastic. That fight, it was fantastic. So Cape, how Richard already explained his record, and I mean the guy is incredible, and I mean Rogerio. It's a tough. I don't know. For me, it's a tough one, but I am gonna have to go with Cape. And I will have to go by second round TKO.
Cool. All right. So there is a team that I rarely like to pick against. And that team is AKA Thailand. That is headed by Mike Swick and a few other contingents down there. Yeah. Manel Cape is athletic and explosive. And he comes out literally flying across the ring, trying to just rip your head off with whatever of the 8 limbs he has. I think he's going to do that again. KO round 1 for Cape. He's just talented and explosive and has killer instinct. And I love his style. And he trains, obviously, when you move to Thailand to train in kickboxing, like that is a serious commitment to the sport. So yes, Manel Cape round 1. That is for me.
Nice.
I think it's pronounced Cop, but
Yes, Manel Cop. That is correct.
Manal Cop, yeah.
Whatever.
So, yeah, right. You guys ready to argue?
I'm ready.
I do not like the male flyweight weight class. Don't like it. I think
the
it's
roster as it is, or the weight class in general.
the weight class as it stands. I think they should deal with the weight cutting issue, because all these guys are when they on fight day, they're above 150. So fix the weight cutting, eliminate the midget class, and start bumping people up and add in more weight classes: 165, 195, 215, 235. So then everyone adjusts up, and then we don't have the flyweights, which like. Do I care? I do not care. I don't care who wins here. So
Cool.
no,
So
you're
on
not
to
going
the
to
next
argue with me
one,
about. You're not going to argue with me about that.
There's no argument. So what's going on, Mike De Niro?
No one's going to say, but they're so fast and there's so much excitement and they're so technical.
I'm entertained by all fights, but I know what you're saying about the weight class being it's derivative of what's healthy or good for the fighter, and the weight cut. Obviously, we want to kind of eliminate that as much as possible, which it's not happening. So the weight class currently does exist.
Yeah.
So as long as it does exist and people are head kicking each other, I'm going to watch it. So
there you go. So I'm going to pick Manel Cop. Rogeria, a lot of losses. Cop is a slow starter, but he has the power, and Rogeria takes things to decision and whatever. I'm going to go with Cop. I don't know. Round 2, knockout.
And that's what Dan said. What you just mentioned, Coach. He's like, yeah, he will start slow, but now he's picking up more aggressive as of late. So that's what, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And now we've circled back to Alex for the first ladies fight of the night. We have 2 former champs, and if you want the Wi-Fi password, just say these 2 women's names together. We got
nice.
Oh my god.
This is very likely another title eliminator. I mean, I don't think these women have not fought for a title outside of fighting each other in a non-title fight or other champions in the division in years. So Joanna's been looking like a bridesmaid lately, and Wiley Zhang's taken most of her losses ever in the last 2 fights, I think, 3 fights. So Alex, talk about how you think this fight's going to go down.
So they both have came down with losses already. I mean, Whaley fought Rose. So was Joanna.
No, she didn't actually. She got obliterated. I'm kidding.
Fought her twice, though.
Yeah, so I mean, it just honestly, I mean, when you take breaks, take a long layoff, sometimes it can be beneficial for some people. It just depends how mentally how they are. Especially how they're going, especially coming from those losses, seeing, how they're gonna come back with this fight. I mean, it could go either way. I mean, I could see Whaley winning, but I also could see Joanna winning. It just depends how they show up on fight night. I'm gonna go with Joanna on this one. I think she gets it done, even though she did take a long layoff. Yeah, I'm gonna go Joanna this one. I'll go for decision.
Richard, same fight.
These women, have something both in common. Both were, former champions, and both got sent packing by Rose Namajunas not once but twice.
Nice.
Other than that, we know about Joanna. Some fights maybe she hasn't come back the same. I know she lost those 2 fights to Rose, and she defeated Tisha Torres. They should lost to Valentina. They should defeated Michelle Watterson. And Tisha and Michelle really good fighters, but those fighters that kind of just linger around the division. Sad to say they're at the point where like you want to make a name for yourself, beat one of those women, and they might come close to contention, but they're never really there. So I don't know how. Like I can't really say much of those 2 fights. Like yeah, she shouldn't be facing those women. She should be at a championship level, which she is by facing Weili Zhang. Weili, coming off those 2 losses to Rose, and she's looking to get her belt back. And I really think that Weili is going to win. I think it's going to be by possibly unanimous decision. I think Weili's going to take it, and that's pretty much it. I just think maybe Joanna was at a point where she was in this damn hype train, and that hype train broke out of the damn tracks and strapped on some jetpacks and went to the freaking moon.
To the moon!
Exactly. I love it, She did the stare downs were amazing, but now she's facing tougher competition, and she went versus Valentina, going for the vacant, flyweight champion. She couldn't do it, and then no shame. I mean, Valentina is a monster. But now Weili, I just think watching some of her, the recent, what's it called, the embedded, she looks more focused, and I think Weili's going to take it by decision.
Cool. Ivan, let's go, bro.
Man, it's been 2 years since these ladies have ever met in an octagon. 2 years, especially that was, Joe. I mean, 2 years is it doesn't feel long, right?
I'm with you, Chris.
It doesn't feel long. 2 years. It's not
Fight
long.
it was literally fight of the year, and very easily, in my opinion.
Of course, we did have a whole time warp with the scamdemic happening, and
yeah. That's a very, very intriguing. And and then with this fight, I mean, this is Zhang's last opportunity to be in the top rankings, and she can't afford to lose in this fight. If she does, then that puts Joanne back into the rankings, which she's not as a moment.
I noticed Joanna doesn't have a number next to her name. Is she not
she's not in the rankings at all.
Is it just because of the layoff?
Yeah, the layoff. That is correct.
Yeah.
That is crazy talk.
Yes. So that's why she's not in the rankings, and this could affect Zhang if she loses this fight. So this is an important for her. If she loses, then you will see Joanna in the rankings, obviously.
That's ridiculous.
In the strawweight division. This is a tough one to call, man. I do love both ladies, but yes, it has been a while for Joanna. I have not seen her in the last 2 years, of course. She looks very motivated. She does look like something different, of course, more of a female, more of a model type of girl. But I'm gonna have to go with Zhang by decision on this one.
Cool. Whew, man! Throughout this entire conversation, I've not been able to pick a fighter. Joanna gets inside of her own head a lot of times. She is the boogie woman, and she does believe that, and confidence is key. But I think that she thinks that she is a lot more unstoppable than she has been. In her past 5 fights, she's lost like 3 of them. She's lost 4 out of her last 5 fights. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that is a crazy number to think about how good she actually is. And I think if she keeps her head level and doesn't believe in her fear tactics to get her through the fight, her actual tactics, she could take the decision on this. I don't have a favorite fighter to win. I like them both. So I would love to see Joanna win this fight. I would love to see a rematch of her versus Cookie Monster because that's one of my favorite KOs of all time. And I want history to repeat itself. And for that reason, I'm picking Joanna Jędrzejczyk by decision.
Just very brief. I mean, I don't see her in the rankings. I refreshed it and I did not see her.
Is it on the UFC page? Was it added 10 minutes ago?
I refreshed it right now too, and it's still nothing.
If it's the Sherdog rankings and Tapology rankings, yeah, I take those into consideration. Those are pretty legit. If it's UFC, then they just lag.
What is going on?
Cool. And then the man who's going to correct us all, Coach, what you got on this one?
Zhang Weili is going to win by decision.
Yes.
It's not. The last time they met, it was a work. It was pretty one-dimensional. But Weili, her grappling has gotten significantly better, and she puts it together with her striking. She gave Rose a problem, Rose Namajunas. And when Rose was talking about Carla, which let's not bring that up.
No, let's not bring that up. No, oh my God. No, that's horrible.
But it was to defend because what it was doing was wrestling, where Wei Li was striking and wrestling, and that's much harder to deal with because the proper defense for striking leaves you open for wrestling, and the proper wrestling defense leaves you open for striking. So I just don't think I just don't see Joanna. I don't see her being able to deal with the wrestling. I think last time we saw that Wei Li is a better striker than Joanna. All the time off, her head's a mess. I doubt. I would go as far as to say she loses this fight and then is no longer relevant. So Wei Li by decision.
Got it. Cool.
Wow.
First title fight of the night: Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko versus Talia. Probably doesn't have a nickname. Santos.
Don't speak Portuguese anyway, so.
No, obrigado. I don't see a nickname for her, but she's. Fun fact: in Brazilian culture, your nickname is given to you as a prank. So you don't get to pick your nickname down there. They will find something to make fun of you, and that is not your name.
Interesting.
That's why Cigano, Junior Dos Santos, that means the genie. He used to have a ponytail, look like a genie. Nepal, Gabriel Gonzaga means big nose.
Yep.
Masaranduba means tree, means like it's a wood. Husmar Polaris, his nickname was I forget, is it Tequino? No, was it? Yeah, it means tree stump. So like, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
The other guy, what's his name? Carlos Jr. What they go Scott de Zapato.
Oh yeah.
Shoeface.
Shoeface, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember Shoeface. I love Shoeface.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a funny story. She'll probably get a nickname eventually. But until then, we're going to talk about her first title fight in the UFC. Alex, go for it.
Yeah, she's 4-1 in the UFC, coming with 4 wins, winning streak. She has really good striking, pretty decent ground game, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to be enough to beat Valentina. So I'm gonna go with decision on this one. I'm gonna go with decision on Valentina. I think she retains her title.
Cool. Okay. And Richard.
I think mostly gonna pick the same. I probably pick Valentina as well. Santos is on a 4-fight win streak. She does go by decision. I mean, 10 of her 19 wins are by decision, but I don't think Valentina will let it go to pass the second, third round, especially her last 2 fights. Knocking out Lauren Murphy by 4th round and then Jessica Andrade by 2nd. I just don't see anybody defeating her right now, and I don't see Santos doing it. So I'm gonna pick Valentina. I say it's knockout, maybe 3rd round.
Like knockout, like Jessica I style, like out cold.
Probably just a TKO. Yeah, I mean that could go too, but it's probably like a TKO.
Okay.
Like I could see the referee just stopping it.
Got it. Ivan.
What can we say about this division? Really, like this division it's an unfortunate. It's sad because it's like she fought almost everybody. She hasn't fought, Santos, which I'm intrigued to see. I know Santos had a performance of the night back in November, which I kind of looked at earlier today. And yeah, she impresses me. Yes, she is. She's very tough. She's very impressive, but can she take Valentina to the limit? I don't really think so. It's as much as I would like to change the game and say choose Santos for it, but I'm gonna have to go with Valentina on this one, and I think Valentina will either I don't know. I would say 3rd round TKO.
Cool. Yeah, there's not a fighter inside the top 5 that is Valentina probably already hasn't fought and beat. Alexa Grasso's at number 5. They've never fought, but Valentina's beaten people outside of 5 minutes. So everything's gonna be a rematch after this, unless they give Grasso top 5, a title shot, which I mean would be cool to see Grasso get a title fight, but not at that ranking. A lot of champions, you can say, oh, if anyone is going to beat this champion, it's going to be this guy. It's going to be this girl. Oh, this is the perfect fighter to take on that belt. Valentina does not have anybody in the division to have that be said about. This is going to be not a fun night for Talia. Valentina never strays from the game plan. She never gets cocky. She never gets arrogant. She's never like, oh, let me beat her at her own game plan. She just goes in, laser-guided missiles, sticks to the game plan every single time, and she is going to get a TKO in round number 2. And then I think that she just needs to retire and just go home. Robert Princess. I don't know what else is left for her. I don't think she doesn't want to move up again. I mean, that would be cool. She could do it. I would love to see her in Pena. She already beat her in a beautiful armbar. Go watch that fight. No one saw that coming. No one saw her winning in by that fashion. So it is possible.
There you go, director. Look, guys, a comment there for you.
I will say I would be intrigued if she were to fight Fiorot. And I'm sure I said that wrong because I was reading it live on the air. Yeah, Manon Fiorot is number 6 right now. She's already beaten everybody in the top 3, and if she beats Santos, that's number 4. I don't know. All right, say that again.
Is Fiorot? Is that the French girl? The big French girl?
Is that the one with the whore tattoos? No, that's not the girl with the French tattoo. That is a blonde woman who is French. 9-1, and yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find that information. If you already have it, perfect.
Okay. No, I don't. But yeah,
she's fighting Jennifer Maya, or she just fought Jennifer Maya, and she won that fight. So Jennifer Maya is a beast. So it's possible she could get a title shot at that ranking if no matter who wins.
But look at this comment here.
Yeah, I would. That would be all that's left for her. She's definitely not going down in weight for sure. Mm-hmm. So that would be the next logical step.
All right,
and up to Coach.
Yeah. Okay. So Manon Fiorot. I can't even say her name. Yeah, she's the big French girl. She beat up my friend Tabitha Ricci because Ricci is a strawweight, and she took her chance to get into the UFC, so she fought up a weight class. Yeah, even that matchup, Fiorot, I don't even know how to say her name, but she's not ready for the bullet. Shevchenko, in my opinion, is the pound for pound best martial artist in the UFC. That's including the men.
Yeah,
I think she mixes her talents. She mixes the ranges. She mixes the styles better than anybody. The thing that's really interesting to think about is the male flyweight champions giving her a challenge, and it's
like that,
right?
I want those fights, man.
You could think of Figgy and Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France. Those guys could give her a challenge, but again, after the rehydration, after the actual weight of the fight, those men are 150, 155 pounds, where Valentina is closer to 130, 132. So actually finding men small enough to challenge her is not realistic, and we don't do mixed gendered fights, so it's just a fantasy. Anyway, Shevchenko is going to win. How quickly and how easily? That's the question. Is it going to be a spin kick to the liver? Is it going to be a head kick? I think it is going to be a legit knockout. I think Santos has power, but she is wide and sloppy. She's very strong, but she's not technical. Her ground game, meh. Decent jiu-jitsu, bad wrestling. So I'll just pick it. Round 3 KO, head kick, the bullet.
The
Very,
coach special.
very, very specific. I like head kicks. Cool. Now we are on to the main event of the night: Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Kaczyka.
We're here already.
There was another fighter with the name Prokayich. I forget who that was. Ivan, something like that. Anyways, Yuri Kaczyka.
Yeah, that's the one I messed up. Remember?
Yeah, no worries. I love this fight. It's straight out of a video game. Alex, take it away, man.
This is going to be a really good fight. I mean, I don't know. Yuri, I mean, I've been following him since when he won his title in Ryzen and when he was destroying everyone. And when he came to UFC, same prediction. He was going to destroy everyone that he fought in UFC. And he's doing that so far. If he could keep it on the feet, which, I mean, his takedown defense, because we know Glover's probably going to go for the takedown. He's going to go for a takedown, try to take him to the ground and try to submit him. If he keeps it on the feet, I think he knocks out Glover. But if he could keep it on the feet, let's see. Yeah. I'm going to go Glover on this one. I think he gets him to the ground and submits him, and I'm going to go round 3.
Oh.
Submission.
Cool. Richard, main event.
There's nothing. I mean, I could just go over and over how great Glover is. I mean, I really became more of a fan of him recently. When I fought Jones, I wasn't really much of a fan. But it's hard not to like a guy heading, in his 40s. I mean, the way he defeated Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos, just battering, beating him
Santos,
up the
man.
Santos,
I mean,
man.
I never. Call me
Watch
twisted.
that
I mean,
fight.
yeah, watch that. I mean, call me twisted. Seeing a man beat up someone like that gave me a warm feeling in my heart. But other than that, that was just awesome.
You're a sick fuck.
It gave me a warm feeling. And,
This explains why we're friends.
Other than that, he's pretty much giving Father Time the middle finger, and he's heading at that GOAT status. He's 42. I mean, I would like to see him tie the record, break the record, but that's 3 years away. The oldest champion in UFC we know is Randy Couture at 45, and I'm thinking the oldest combat fighter would be 51 is Bernard Hopkins. But I don't know. He's doing something right. I mean, he might be taking off a chapter of Hopkins' playbook and calling himself an alien. I remember him saying that, how are you doing this at this age? I'm an alien. You can't explain it. So Glover might be this Brazilian alien, but he's doing something right. But Yuri is just this wall. I mean, Yuri, 25 out of his 28 wins are by KO, which is fucking insane. I don't even want to cuss in this pocket, but just reading it, I'm just seeing KO. Oh, one decision, back to KOs.
CVMA, man. We cuss what the fuck we want. Damn it. Shit.
11 of his 12 last fights are all KOs with like one decision.
It's insane.
Wow.
It's insane. So I could see him knocking them out really early. I mean, all of them are like first, second rounds. But like Alex said, Glover takes to the ground and holds him down and wrestle. And the way Rage says wrestle fucks him, he might beat him. But man, that's just a tough one.
And it's his 3rd fight in the UFC, and it's a title shot.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
But he deserves it. I'm gonna say, shit, this sucks. I'm gonna say Glover by decision. I would probably switch it. But yeah, Glover by decision.
Oh,
that's so hard. I want to say Yuri by knockout in the 2nd round, but yeah, let's just go with that for now.
Cool. Ivan, main event.
Jesus, man, could Glover's luck run out? Could this be the end of his era and retire? Could this be it already? Hang the gloves. No, I don't think so, damn it. It should not be it. I believe in you, Glover, as much as I'm being realistic here at Yuri. I mean, just look at his credentials. And one thing that in the comments they brought up a good point. Watching Yuri's old fights that he had before, one factor could be his quickness. is agile? Will he get tired? Because I mean, will he be that one individual to try to finish it off very quick? We've seen he has in the first one or second rounds, all on his fight, most of his fights. Glover, on the other hand, has gone the distance. Man, this is a tough one to call. So, I believe in you, Glover, just like nobody believed in me when I chose. Oh man, on the last fight. So I'm gonna go with Glover, damn it. And I think Glover, damn it, by decision. And I hope he gets his luck, man.
Nice.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
It's tough. That's tough.
It's tough.
It is tough. This is absolutely super tough. One thing about Glover, and you never want the terms resilient and tough to be your attributes, because that means that you're put in positions with which you have to face adversity. But when he faces that adversity, Glover shines. All of his fights leading up to his win over Jan Blachowicz were not easy fights. He was getting rocked in a lot of those. A lot of those were comebacks where he had to just I don't want to say Hail Mary a takedown, but he definitely had to rely on his wrestling into his jiu-jitsu to get past the striking. I think if he can do that and survive eating wood chipper shots on the way in, then he can get him down. And once he touches him with a clinch, this fight is over, which is why I'm picking Glover by submission round 2.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Drop the mic. There you go.
Yeah. And let's hear it from the man with the plan.
There we go. So Yuri Prohaska is strong, athletic, fast, unorthodox in his movement. He is a problem. Yuri is the future of the 205 of the light heavyweight division. Just not yet. Not yet. The hole that he has in his game is on the ground. He's also making some mistakes in his training. Shadow boxing, throwing European hooks. Okay, dude. Making some mistakes physically, S&C mistakes. But his mentality, his mental conditioning, and his natural talent, top tier, top of the food chain. But this is how I see it going. Glover loses round 1. Yuri outstrikes him, outlands him. Glover might even get rocked in round 1.
That's par for the course.
Par for the course, right? That's how it goes.
That's every Glover fight I've ever seen.
Right? Exactly. Right. So
even if you go back to the Ryan Bader fight, his back was against the cage. He was getting pieced up before he threw that right hand.
Yep.
Then, Coach, could that be the reason? Because he's been training with Cejudo?
I would love to see those training. I would love to see that training set. Those.
I don't know. That's not the errors that I was. I think it's good that he's been training with Cejudo. Cejudo's a decent coach, but that's to work on his wrestling defense. But that's not enough. That's not enough. So round 2, Glover is going to get Yuri with his back against the cage. He's going to snatch single. Glover, the way he does the snatch single is, so I told the story in the beginning of the podcast that we have this indirect connection through the underground where we both started our fight careers. We also have the Black House connection. Glover is part of Team Black House, and so I actually know Glover. My fighters have sparred with him. We've shared the training room. Glover's single leg is like a magic trick. It's just, and then you're on your ass, and it's just like, what the fuck just happened here? So, round 2, Glover's gonna get that snatch single. He's gonna get top position. Probably from the snatch single is going to end up in half guard, pass the half guard, come to full mount, do some damage, and with the head and arm choke. So Glover by submission, round 2.
Love his head knock show. Cool.
And I suspect when Glover either retires on top, or when he loses, he's going to be the betting favorite.
Trying to just bring up the rankings for that division. I mean, it's him.
But
God,
Father Time
Yuri is ranked
Father
number 2
Time beats everyone.
fights. That's crazy.
There's 2 undefeated fighters. There's Mother Nature and there's Father Time.
Okay. So yeah, Blachowicz is number 1, Jiri 2, Alexander Rakic, Magomed Ankalev at 4, Anthony Smith at 5, Thiago at 6, Dominic Reyes at 7.
It's like the Valentina effect. Glover,
Yeah.
besides Yuri, has beaten most of the people in that division already at some point. I mean, I think Paul Craig should be ranked higher, honestly, at this point, but he is only fighting guys like Jamal Hill who are ranked higher than him. So you don't really move up the rankings if you're fighting guys that are, at a higher number. And I think that's just incidental for Paul Craig, who I think is definitely worth being on a main pay-per-view card eventually. So
the winner of this fight will face the winner of Magomed and Anthony Smith, because Dana White already stated that.
Right.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
So
That is interesting.
So rematch essentially, if Anthony Smith wins that and Glover wins this. But
yeah, I don't think Anthony Smith will win that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Cool.
Yeah. And so, question is, which one will steal the show? What fight?
Oh, fuck. What fight or what fighter? Because those are two different things.
I would say what fight.
Let's say they don't do KOs and submissions of the nights anymore. It's just performances and fights, right?
Yeah, performances of the nights and
because technically KOs of the night is sort of illegal. That's the whole Seth Petrozelli bullshit with Elite XC.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Well, because you're paying an incentive to not go for takedowns, essentially, is what it was.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, we fought Kimbo.
Yeah. So it's basically rigging the fight in a way. It's kind of a gray area.
Like a fucking man. There's your understanding.
I love it. So one thing I want to implement. Okay, so when there's no activity in a ground scramble and they're just laying and praying or sitting in guard, and the crowd chants "stand him up" and the ref stands him up. They need to, and they should have done this in the Rose Carla Esparza fight. If there is no activity on the feet, lay them down.
Huh.
I'm just saying. Why does it work both ways?
Like a timeout, man. Shit.
Yeah. Like flip a coin. Do whatever it is they do in collegiate wrestling, where they decide who gets mount and who gets
right. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Why is there no activity on the ground? You stand him up. If there's no activity on the feet, lay him down.
The best. My screen just went blank. The best rule set that I ever fought under was if you don't win, you lose.
Yeah.
So you could have two losers.
Yeah.
That doesn't work too well in America, but it taught me how to fight.
Pride was doing that for a while under was that Bushido rules where like if there's no finish, it's a draw or something like that?
Yeah.
That was like the first year Pride rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean
I like jiu-jitsu too. Like if there's no submission, it's a draw. They do that too.
We're talking about Paulo Filio? Is that bring up Paulo Filio?
Fialo?
Yeah.
Is he saying what? That's
Andre
one word.
Fialo.
Fialo. What is he saying? Fialo's going to be impressive.
Yeah, against Jake Matthews.
Oh, we're talking about okay. So we're picking from the entire card. Got it. Yeah.
No, we're not. Let's just pick from
with the main card.
The main card.
I think fight of the night is going to obviously go to Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I think fighter of the night I'm throwing it up between Manel Kape or Jack Della Maddaleno. It's one of those two fighters they might both be taking home a bonus for sure.
Okay.
But fight of the night, no matter what, is absolutely going to be the women's first women's fight.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with you on that too. I'm gonna have to go with I think this one probably was the show. It's been a long time.
I think that fight is gonna be boring. I think I do. I think it's going to be 25 minutes of Whaley taking Joanna down, doing some relatively ineffective ground and pound for 5 rounds. Joanna's going to get beat up, but I don't think it's going to be very exciting to watch. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, because fighters like this have the talent and the skill to be exciting, but exciting doesn't win. And we saw the damage they both took in their first fight, and so Whaley might just she might be expecting Joanna to expect that same stand-up war. It was the exact opposite. Plus, she's got the Cejudo factor because that totally paid off in her first fight with Rose.
Exactly. I think I'm going to be optimistic and think that Valentina does the performance of the night. And then I think
I feel like she's won it every time she's ever fought ever.
Well, there was one where she was right off of surgery. She won the fight, but it wasn't her best performance. But she's phenomenal. And then I'm gonna hope that Jack Della Maddalena impresses everybody with an amazing knockout.
God, look at that nose! He is taking shots. I just realized that he's got that.
Yeah, you don't think he's boxed?
There's 2 things you don't mess with when you see someone on the streets: is cauliflower ears and a nose that points west when they're walking east.
Yeah.
Right, Alex, Richard, what about you guys?
I feel like we're all in the same boat. Yeah, I would just pick the Valentina fight for sure versus Santos. What you, Alex?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
All right, so let's say we're all there then.
Real quick.
Uh-oh.
No.
He got him! He put him on! Yeah, boy!
He put him on. Oh, man. That's right. Well, there you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
We're not going to explain that. We're just going to let that hang there. We have a dress code here.
You know what? Okay.
We have a dress code here on the Circle of Debate.
Okay, there you go. Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Coach. Chris and Coach, take it away. I don't explain.
We're done, man. Hey, Bruce Crawford has left the building.
Oh, man. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. And do not forget to subscribe to Championship on the Line podcast on all their social media platforms and their audio platforms and on their YouTube channel, because it provides you not only just pro wrestling, boxing, and MMA as well. And also, do not forget to subscribe
every Friday.
Every Friday. Do not forget to subscribe to the coach as well.
Awesome.
And bonus, Rich wins.
Miles always roasts me. We're not going to go there, but no, Miles always roasts me. Tomorrow's his birthday. I want to give him a shout out. Happy birthday, buddy. I won't see you. Happy birthday.
He's named after the ice planet. Miles is named after an ice planet. He roasts you? Okay. Very good. Nice.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
All right. We got to go, boys.
And also got to thank, of course, make sure you subscribe and follow all over social media. It's Coach Rage. The description is right below. You want to be an EYR in the division, hit up this man. If you want to be the baddest bitch as well for all females out there who's watching this, contact this man. He will train you. He will show you how to be Rage in that cage and bring some pain. That's for sure, because he is a phenomenal coach, Coach Rage. Make sure you follow him. That's right. and of course, make sure you follow the director as well. You know,
you want to, you don't have to. I don't teach anything. I don't do anything cool. I just hang out.
No, he is.
You're a rock star, Chris.
He is the rock star. He is the Bobby Heenan of MMA. So yes, there you go.
I think I like that.
I don't know that reference. I'm sorry.
I have
we'll
to
just
stick
with Rockstar.
Because the way how it's insightful. But yes, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we'll be back next week for the recap show to see who wins the Tapology World Champion. Who wins that championship belt? Who takes it home? Can it be Richard's time? Can it finally be Richard's first title win?
It's time. It's time.
Ain't
Glover's
gonna happen.
get pumping me up. He's motivating me. I'm gonna
Or
do
we're
it.
gonna see again, Alex, for the 6th time, for God's sakes.
It's what the world wants. It's what the crowd wants.
No, nobody wants that, man. No, nobody
He
wants
lost the
that.
championship at a record 6 times. He keeps on losing that belt.
You've lost like 30 times. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's a Rick
You
Flair. of
never
this.
won.
And well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure subscribe to all everybody's platforms, and we'll catch you guys next week for the recap show and see who wins the Tapology World Title. And I'm looking forward to seeing all these fights coming up. So make sure you guys tune in. So I'm gonna let the host right here, director, close out the show. Let them know, director, what do we do here on the championship, Circle the Man, EYR, MMA podcast.
We take titles, and we'll take your follows too. So sub.
There you go.